Good morning, students. In the last video, we have already discussed about this lesson. In that, we have discussed about the water resources and the irrigation, then the modern methods of, in the primitive method of irrigation we have learned. And in this video, we will be discussing about the modern methods of irrigation, then the conservation of water, all these things. I hope you have read the lesson and have studied the lesson. Now, before going to the modern methods of irrigation, there are actually two main methods of irrigations that we are using, and also in your book it is given about the bamboo method of irrigation too. So, before going to this main methods of sprinkler method of irrigation and the drip method of irrigation, let's just have a little understanding about the bamboo method of irrigation. Now, the bamboo method of irrigation actually one of the oldest method which the people of northeast of our country has used. Since the bamboo is available there, the people, instead of pipelines, the people use the bamboo method of irrigation. Now, let's look into the modern methods like a sprinkler method. And in the sprinkler method of irrigation, the sprinklers are set in the field and water is supplied with the pipes. So when we look into this picture, I have a drawn picture here. Here shows the pipes are arranged, and in all direction, 3 directions or 4 directions, the pipes are arranged, and it gets rotated in every 40 angles, so that the water can reach in every in the field, every nook and corner of the field. So that way it is very useful that the water will not be get wasted because of through this sprinkler method of irrigation. So when we look into the advantages of the sprinkler method of irrigation, there is, as we said, there is a loss of less possibility of loss of water. And first and foremost, as it is not exposed to the sun, the water will not get reduced through evaporation. Then the irrigations that we have seen, like canal methods, the water which can be channelized to different places. So all these problems are solved through the sprinkler method of irrigation. Secondly, it is used for the sandy soil, and also it is very useful for the arid and semi-arid regions. Then the labor cost is less than the other irrigation. So since the pipe lines are arranged, so therefore we need not to keep any labor to go different places and for the water or whatever may be. So therefore the less labor cost also is of the advantages of this particular method of irrigation. Since the water is channelized to the pipes, the flow of the water also is very good. So these are the advantages of sprinkler method of irrigation. We have almost discussed 4 or 5 points. So please read and understand again. Now when we look into the disadvantages of the sprinkler method of irrigation, it is not suitable for the crops like rice and also for the sugarcane, since the water is more needed for this rice and sugarcane. So therefore this sprinkler method of irrigation is not useful. It may be useful for the horticulture crops. Then at the initial stage we need to spend some amount for the building or to making this kind of irrigation. Then when there is a heavy breeze or wind, the water may get into directed to the where the wind is coming. So it may be directed to directed to according to the direction of the wind. Then some crops are very sensitive, so therefore the water which falls onto the leaves and all may spoil or damage. So therefore this sprinkler method of irrigation may not be good for such kind of crops. Then if there is a presence of salt in the water, it can be spoil the leaves, and also the pipes can be spoiled. So these are the disadvantages of the sprinkler method of irrigation. Now let's look into the drip method of irrigation. So as I have drawn the picture here, here we use the hose pipe, and in which we make a hole, and this hole will be fixed at the root of any plants or trees, through which the water pours into that. Now what is a drip method of irrigation? A plastic tube which is used, which has a small hole through which water keeps on dripping to the roots, is called the drip method of irrigation. Now let's look into the advantages. First and foremost, there is no wastage of water, since the water falls drip from through the holes to the root of the trees and plants, so there is no loss of water. Second, there is no soil erosion. Then third, labor cost is very less. So these are the advantages of drip method of irrigation or drip irrigation. Now when we look into the disadvantages, as we told about the sprinkler method of irrigation, the initial cost is more. Secondly, due to the cold and heat, the pipes may get spoiled very fast, since the water, when the pipe is long, and we have already fixed with to the root of the plants and trees, then we cannot collect every day and the next day place it. So it will be exposed to the sun during the daytime and to the cold to the night. So the pipes can be spoiled very fast. Then it may not be very useful for the uneven land, since if the land is up and down, the force of the water may not be taking place properly. Then it is not useful for the crops like rice and wheat. So these are the disadvantages of the drip irrigation method. So we have already learned the methods, the primitive methods and the modern methods. So it's your duty to learn the advantages and disadvantages of different types of methods. Maybe sometimes the questions can be asked, why the sprinkler method of irrigation is more suitable than the drip irrigation. If you know these advantages and the disadvantages, then it will be easy for you to answer. So now we are going to discuss about the conservation of water. In this topic, we will be discussing about the scarcity of water and the reason for the scarcity of water, then the necessary steps for the water conservation. In that, rainwater harvesting also will be discussing. So even though the water is a natural resources and it can be renewed, we know that day by day the amount of water is getting reduced, and we need water for all our purposes. So now, what is a water conservation? Saving water and controlling the depletion of water resource is called the water conservation. Now let's look into the major reason for the water scarcity. First and foremost, the water pollution. Now we know that the waste from the industries and municipal waste, sewage waste and also the chemical waste is thrown into the water bodies, and it polluted the water. So therefore, the water that we get from the rivers or other ponds, water resources, that is polluted and cannot be used. Now we cannot drink, or even we cannot use for the bathing or washing and all, and even for the agriculture is not suitable. If we use like this contaminated or polluted water, it can cause in many sickness, and even the cultivation get spoiled. We know that one of the main river Ganga is also a polluted river, since the people worshipped as a goddess, and they go and dip into that, and we cannot say that it's a belief of the people, so therefore they go and worship the Ganga and they throw it or something in that. So that way the Ganga is polluted. And also the Yamuna is one of the most polluted river which flows from Delhi through Agra, and we know that many of the industrial wastes are thrown into the Yamuna, and the water is polluted and cannot be used properly, used for our various purposes. Then comes the over exploitation and excessive use of water. In our day-to-day lives too, we know that we use water very lavishly, and maybe when we take bath or even brushing time, we just keep open the taps and we do our work, and the water is wasted. And in the case of yours, sometimes I have noticed that the children just after drinking the water just leave open the tap and the water is wasted. So when we learn or when we understand about all these things, we should be very careful, otherwise in the later some years we are going to face a huge amount of scarcity of water. Then the increase of industrialization. So as we know, our country is a developing country, and we have started so many industries, and for all these industries we need fresh waters. So therefore having industries in our country, we are getting less amount of water, and the water get reduced because of the industries, use of industries. Then the rapid urbanization. Now when the new cities are formed, the population also increased and the demand of the water also increased. So therefore that also a reason for the scarcity of water. Then the using the tube wells for the domestic purpose. Now we know that the tube wells it goes very deep, and it go deep and get water. So what happens, the ordinary wells get very less amount of water, and now the people in Chennai also facing a lot of problem because of the tube wells, and they are facing the scarcity of water because of the tube wells. Now what are the necessary steps we can take for the water conservation? First and foremost, developing water saving technology. Here what we should do we should develop the methods of rainwater collection and water recycle. Then secondly, the preventing of water pollution. It is very important, as I told you, that we should be very careful that we should not pollute the water bodies. Like for us it's fun to throw the waste material in the water bodies and get polluted, so we should not be we should not throw the waste material in the water, so that we can serve the water. Another step we can take, we can have using the modern methods of irrigation. As we have already discussed about the modern methods, the sprinkler method and drip method of irrigation, we have already learned that there is only a less amount of water we need for the irrigation. So therefore we should use the modern methods of irrigation for the irrigation, so that the water can be used very less and can be saved the water. Then promoting the rainwater harvesting. By rainwater harvesting we can use water for the different purposes. So these are the main necessary steps that we can take for the rainwater conservation. First and foremost, developing water saving technology using the recycle and rainwater collection. Secondly, preventing the water pollution. Next is of using modern methods, and last year promoting the rainwater harvesting. Now we are going to discuss about the rainwater harvesting. So rainwater harvesting is a method of collecting the rainwater directly for different purposes, or recharging it into the ground to improve the groundwater. And it is a simple method to collect the rainwater, to store the rainwater and use for the various purposes. Now what we need to do in the rainwater harvesting? Water is collected on the roof of the house and is directed to the dry tanks. So now look at this picture, that the rainwater we collect on the roof of the house, and it is channelized through pipes to the storage. So this is called the roof rainwater harvesting. Now the importance of rainwater harvesting is that first and foremost, rainwater harvesting increases the availability of water during the dry season. So where the rainfall is very less, or we may get only 1 or 2 months, can be used this method, and we can store or collect the rainwater. Secondly, the rainwater can be used for many different purposes. Now it is purified well, then we can even use for the drinking also, and this water that we collected can be purified with the aquifer. Now another method is that the water from the rain can be through the rivers can be collected to some storage, and the sedimentation or the purification is done in the tank. Then we take to our own houses, and where we can storage and we can use it that for so these are the two ways we can use for the rainwater harvesting. First and foremost, on the top of the house, the roof of the house we collect, and it will be channelized through pipes, and even from the water that we get from the rivers, that also can be collected in such a way and can be used. So next is the other thing is the reason for the importance of rainwater harvesting is that it helps to increase the quality of groundwater by groundwater resources. Then it does not cause pollution and it is environmental also. Now what is that? The water we straight away get from the rainwater, so therefore there is the less amount of pollution taking place, and it is, since we get from the nature, it is environmental. Then it is cheap and cost effective. To have rainwater harvesting, we just need some pipes and tanks where we can collect the water, and it can be used for our various purposes. Then it reduces the soil erosion as it is collected on the tank, so there is no possibility of soil erosion. And it also, since it is collected in the ground, it improves the soil moisture. And lastly, it is affordable and less cost, since as we told, it is we need only some pipelines and the tanks where the water can be stored. So I hope you have understood this lesson. It's your duty to read again the book and learn, and very especially the advantages and disadvantages, then the conservation of, and mainly in the conservation of water, mainly about the rainwater harvesting you need to study. Thank you.